What is good, everybody? It is your boy Pat, the designer, back at it again. The Chicago Bears schedule has finally been released. We've been dying for something to talk about. So without further ado, let's talk about it right after this.
On one, on two, on three.
Stop it! Did not do him like that! Mercy! Did you not get the memo?
All right, so before we get into the video, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly. And we don't want you to miss a thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. So the Bears schedule has finally been released. We knew who the opponents were, but we didn't know exactly when they were going to be playing, the order they were going to be playing in. So we finally got that. So let's run through this schedule real quick, and I'll let you know how many wins I think the Chicago Bears can realistically get. And, of course, I want to know your opinion in the comments below. Week 1, we open this thing up against the Detroit Lions. Of a formidable foe, I think, for the Bears as far as we know going into this season. I think that the Bears pass rush can give them fits. I think that we don't know which version of Matthew Stafford we're going to get back. So if your first game back, you got to start off against Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, and Robert Quinn. That's not really a great welcome back to the league for you. So I'm going to give the Bears a W at Detroit in their first game of the season. Bears started off 1-0. Now, week 2, we're going up against the Giants. I don't know which Daniel Jones we're going to get, but listen, no matter what Daniel Jones you get, we know Saquon Barkley is a problem. Now, I do think the Bears come out of this game with a win, but I think this game would be a lot closer than we think based on we don't know what kind of quarterback play we're getting on our side. We don't know what kind of quarterback play we're getting on their side. I think that the Bears defense clearly gives them the advantage in this game, but Saquon Barkley is an outlier. Stopping him has proven to be a problem for the entire NFL. So I'd like to see what Chuck Pagano has schemed up for Saquon, for Daniel Jones even, and see what the Bears can do to slow this down. But nonetheless, I am giving the Bears the W in this one. I think the Bears start off the season 2-0. Now, week 3 is where it gets a little interesting for me. You know what I'm saying? I actually think this will probably be the Bears' first loss of the season. Now, I could see this defense causing havoc, but at the same time, you're going up against Julio Jones, you're going up against Matty Ice, and you're going up against now Todd Gurley. That is a lot of good weapons on one team. I think that if the Bears do win this game, this is going to have to be one of the games where the offense picks it up for us because there's going to be a lot coming at the defense fast. Now, do I think that this defense can hold it? Absolutely. But I don't think that anybody in the NFL can really hold down Julio Jones. It's all going to be based on can Khalil Mack and Akeem Hicks get to Matt Ryan and kind of mess things up there, and can they slow down Todd Gurley? On top of that, this game is in Atlanta, so it's going to be a very interesting game. I'm going to have to give the edge to Atlanta on this one. I say the Bears go 2-1 after week 3. Week 4 is another interesting game to me because it's Phillip Rivers coming into Chicago, and we don't really know exactly when the season's going to start yet, right? So this could be a season where things are pushed back a month. We don't know how things are going to go with the virus. So this could be a much colder weather game for Phillip Rivers in Chicago at, what's Phillip Rivers, almost 30? Almost 40, I mean? And he doesn't play well in the cold weather anyway. So I think that this game is one that the Bears could definitely win in Chicago. Possibly a cold weather game. We don't know what Chicago weather is ever going to do. So I could see the Bears starting off the first quarter of this season 3-1 based on the teams that they've got at the beginning of this schedule. Now, week 5, Thursday night football, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Brady coming to Chicago to play the Chicago Bears at home on a short week. As tough as it is for me to say, I will never bet against Tom Brady until it is far too late. So I am going to give Tom Brady and the Buccaneers the edge in this one. Coming to Chicago, short week, maybe not as good for Brady. Could be a situation where the Bears could definitely win. I think all these games, when you look at them, there's no game this season where it's like, oh my God, they're definitely going to lose that one. But I think that bringing Tom Brady into these elements, older quarterback once again, we don't know how things are going to work out in Tampa Bay, but he's got a lot of weapons down there. And I think that team would have been a heck of a lot better if Jameis hadn't thrown 30 interceptions in a season. I don't think you're going to see that from Tom Brady. So I'm going to go Tom Brady gets the W on this one. We will see. But like I said, I'll bet against Tom Brady when it's much too late and he's sitting in a nursing home somewhere not throwing footballs anymore. Before I continue with the video, go through the schedule yourself and let me know in the comments below how many wins and losses you think the Chicago Bears will finish the season with. Now, week 6, you're going to Carolina. Carolina's a team that's in flux. This is a game the Bears need to get, especially because I believe you'll be coming off an L on a Thursday Night Football. You'll have a little bit more rest going into this game. The Bears need to get this Carolina Panthers game. It's a team that is pretty much changing. Everything is doing. Cam Newton's no longer there. You don't have that big threat at quarterback anymore, in my opinion. So you have to go in there and you have to roll the Carolina Panthers to start you off on a winning streak. And I think that the Bears will do that. I think this is where the Bears kind of get their legs under them for the season moving forward. Now, here's an interesting one for me, Week 7, an old defensive slugfest, in my opinion. Jared Goff, I don't believe in him. I think he's an overpaid guy in this league. I don't think that he's a top quarterback in this league at all. And so I think the Bears defense could wreck his night, could make his night the worst night of his life, especially on a Monday Night Football. That's when Khalil Mack wants to show out and show the world how dominant he is. But at the same time, we still have those same questions on offense. And when you have Aaron Donald coming up the middle, the beast that he is, it is not going to be an easy night. This is going to be a night where the run game has to get going. They have to get David Montgomery going. I'm going to give the Bears the edge, even though this is a Monday Night Football game. And I say that because I think Nick Foles is going to be the quarterback. And Mitch's career in the limelight is terrible. It's horrendous. It's a joke. But I think that Nick Foles will be under center, so I think the Bears have a little bit more of a shot moving forward with this one. I could see them coming out of this with the W. David Montgomery has to be involved, though, because like I said, with Aaron Donald coming up the middle, you have a quarterback that is not going to get out of his way and be able to escape that pressure. You got to have the running game going in this one early and all throughout the game. I'm going to give the Bears the edge, saying that they go 5-2. Week 8, the New Orleans Saints come into Chicago. Now, Week 8 is an interesting one to me because we saw the Saints come in with Teddy Bridgewater last season and kind of pick the Bears apart, right? Does anybody believe Teddy Bridgewater's a world beater? I don't think so. So now you've got Drew Brees coming back, barring any health issues. But even if there are health issues, you got Jameis Winston coming in here, two guys who are very capable of running a good offense. Now, we've seen Jameis make his share of mistakes, 30 interceptions, 30 touchdowns, but 30 touchdowns nonetheless in a 5,000-yard season. You can't sleep on Jameis even at that backup position. So I think that there's a lot of threat with New Orleans coming in here. I could see New Orleans getting the win in Chicago. I would hope that the Bears would be able to compete a little bit better than they did last season, especially hopefully everyone's healthy coming into this game. You're able to come with your full front seven, and that could be the difference maker. You know what I'm saying? Getting a lot of pressure in Drew Brees' face is going to be very important, but at the end of the day, this is a veteran quarterback who's done it a long time. This is a veteran team that's done it a long time. They're ready for the struggles that may come. I'm going to give New Orleans the edge in this game and say that they come out of here with a victory. It's going to be a hard-fought game in my opinion, but like I said, we saw Teddy Bridgewater pick us apart last season. I can't bet against the guy who's a clear Hall of Famer if we saw Teddy Bridgewater and this same team come in and do what they did. Now, Week 9, Tennessee Titans, a good old-fashioned slugfest, right? We're not going to see dominant quarterback play in this one. We got Ryan Fitzpatrick handing the ball off to Derrick Henry for 4 hours. And that Tennessee defense brings a lot of boom, just like that Chicago Bears defense does. I think this is going to be another game where it is a good old-fashioned ground and pound. Get this man the ball, let him do what he's going to do, because we don't know what's going to be the outcome in this one. I think we see a low-scoring game in this affair. When we look at the Bears, I think that the Bears' game plan for this one is trying to eat up a lot of clock, especially being that it's an away game in Tennessee. You don't want to give Tennessee the ball and allow Derrick Henry to get rolling. The best way to stop Derrick Henry is to keep him on the sideline. So I think that this team is going to do their best to try and just kind of push forward and slow this game down completely. I think this is a low-scoring game, but I do see the Bears coming out of Tennessee with a W, especially coming off of a loss. They're going to want to prove something that they can beat these playoff teams. Now, Week 10, Minnesota Vikings, Monday Night Football. You like that? You like that? Kirk Cousins coming in with the hypeness, probably trying to prove that he can beat the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football. but it's in Soldier Field. This is not going well for Kirk Cousins in the past, and I don't believe it's going to go well for him here. I think the Bears come out of here with a win, getting their back-to-back victory, and I think that this defense gives him nightmares yet again, especially with the fact that he's coming in with no Stephon Diggs anymore. So you've got a Monday night primetime game under the lights. Right before the bye week, the Bears are going to give it their all. I think they come out of here with a big victory versus the Minnesota Vikings. So I think that going into your bye week, week 11, the Chicago Bears should be looking at 7-3 based off of how I'm seeing the schedule. Week 12 at Green Bay, Sunday Night Football. Coming off of a primetime game before the bye, you got a primetime game after the bye. This is going to be a tough game. And Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. Now, this could be a disgruntled Aaron Rodgers at this point. He could be upset with the weapons that are on his team. We don't know what the mindset of Aaron Rodgers is going into the season now after the draft. But the Chicago Bears going into Green Bay versus the Packers, Sunday Night Football. As much as it pains me to say, I don't think the Bears get this W. Now, do I think that the Bears could possibly be the better team? Yeah, I think the Bears have the better defense. But at the end of the day, who has the better quarterback? And in this situation, it's definitely Aaron Rodgers, whether you got Nick Foles or you got Mitch Trubisky in there, right? I think Green Bay comes out of this one with the win, pushing the Bears to 7-4. Week 13, Detroit comes to Chicago. We know Detroit plays us way harder after losing to us the first time. Always. Detroit comes out and they want to kill after losing to Chicago the first time. I think this is one of those games that's going to go a field goal kick to win it. You know what I'm saying? So we could be in danger of back-to-back losses. And I'm going to give the edge to the Bears because it is in Chicago. I think that the Bears can find a way to dig deeper. Like I said, we don't know what Matthew Stafford we're getting. I think that the Bears are going to give it their all. They're going to try and come out and completely shut down the quarterback position in this one. I think this is a game where maybe Jalen Johnson or Kyle Fuller shines because I think there's going to be a lot of pressure in Matt Stafford's face. And so I'm going to give the Bears the edge here, but this is going to be a tough fought game. This Houston one is going to be funny because I really believe that Deshaun Watson is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, as long as he's healthy. But here's the thing. His best weapon isn't there anymore. Bill O'Brien, in all his genius, sent away DeAndre Hopkins. Sent away one of the best, let me rephrase that. The best wide receiver in the NFL. I don't think this season is going to go the way Houston wants it to go at all. And so for that reason, I think the Bears are able to dominate Houston in this game. I think this is a game where Deshaun Watson is going to be looking for somebody to throw to. He's going to be looking for ways to escape that pressure, and there's just not going to be anybody open. And again, this is a later in the season game. Houston coming to Chicago. Hopefully we got a little bit of bear weather, if you believe in that. I could see Houston coming out of this getting pretty beat up, and I think the Bears come out of this with a W, in all honesty. Now, Bears at Minnesota, once again, Kirk Cousins trying to finally get over the hump. I think he does this week. It's in Minnesota, kind of towards the end of the season. At this point, hopefully the Bears have racked up enough wins where they're kind of coming into all right, we're not thinking playoffs yet. We're still focused on the game at hand, but at the same time, we see the playoffs. Let's not get anybody seriously injured. And so I can see this being a game where Minnesota might come out with the victory. You know what I'm saying? I think that Minnesota does still have some talent there, but I think that the Bears really have their number. Like I said, this could be another game where we're trying to put it on the back of Eddie Money. Mr. Eddie De Niro, whatever you want to call him. But I could see Minnesota getting this one, especially coming off a loss to the Bears previously. Kirk Cousins is going to be dying to prove that he can beat this Bears team. Week 16, Jacksonville Jaguars. Ladies and gentlemen, Gardner Minshew leading the way for you there. Not a believer. That defense, no Jalen Ramsey, not a believer. I think the Bears come away with a win in this one pretty easily, honestly. I'd like to see what they do moving forward after this game, because now you're going into a huge game in Week 17. Do you play your players? Because Week 17, Green Bay Packers again. Now, I think that if it comes down to this situation, are the Packers going to be in a position where the Bears and Packers are fighting for a playoff spot? I don't know. Now, according to the strength of schedule, the Green Bay Packers do have an easier road ahead of them, so that could possibly rack up some more wins for you. So this could be a pretty important game for both the Bears and the Packers, but I think this is the game that defines the Bears season right here. I think that we are going to see both teams' best players on the field in Week 17, and I think that we're going to see the Bears come out with the victory. They already had lost to the Packers. This is in Soldier Field. This is Aaron Rodgers coming in. I think that we're going to see a different Bears team, a Bears team that is ready for the playoffs, ready to fight, hungry for the fight, not going to let anybody stand in their way. And I think that the Chicago Bears come out in Week 17 with a victory versus the Green Bay Packers. So based off all that, I could see the Bears going 11-5. Now, there's a few games that could change drastically based on injury, based on mistakes, because I think that it's going to be that close. I don't think that the Bears are world beaters, that they're guaranteed to beat any of these teams. You know what I'm saying? I think that this defense is a Super Bowl caliber defense. We don't know what kind of offense we're going to be getting, but I think that if I'm just looking at how these teams stack up with what they have right now, I can see the Bears going 11-5. Now, you let me know in the comments below what you feel. How do you see the Bears finishing the 2020 campaign? Do you see them making the playoffs? Let me know in the comments below. I am going to be down there debating with you guys, talking with you guys, agreeing with you guys. It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.